Welcome to today's Ignite Your Social. And I wanted to share with you just a few ways of getting more attention on social media. This is especially going to be helpful for you if you've been putting stuff out there, content out there. You're doing what you feel like is all of the work to get exposure and nobody is seeing it. So it's one of the questions that I get asked many times, especially before we start working with a new private client inside of our agency. Gina, we have tons of content. We are consistent. We're doing all the things and nothing is happening. Nobody is seeing our content. We're not getting any sort of return on our investment on social media. Please help. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are brand new to my personal profile or Stylishly Branded or Hype Media, welcome. My name is Gina Tassinelli. I'm a social media marketing strategist and personal brand coach. And together, myself, along with my team at Hype Media, we work with established experts, coaches, consultants, small business owners, and business brands to help you ignite your business on social media so that you can generate more leads and make more sales, make a bigger impact. And so one of the ways to do that is by making sure that you are reaching enough people and that you are gaining the attention that you deserve on social media. So today we're going to talk about reach. And reach is one of those KPIs. If you've been following along for the last couple weeks, I have been talking about KPIs and really paying attention to these. So these are key performance indicators. And this is really going to be able to allow you to understand if the efforts that you're putting out there on social media are actually working. So reach is one of those KPIs that we really like to pay attention to. This is something that you can do on your own if you don't have a social media expert or agency or social media manager helping you with your social. I will tell you though, it is really something to think about to delegate this kind of stuff to somebody else as a business owner, because you know what? You're an expert at something, right? You have your unique skill to impact others with what it is you do. Social media, at least when I started my own business, and many clients of ours that we work with, when they started their own business, social media was not really in the mix yet. And so when we started our own businesses, did we sign up to be social media experts? No, that's just what I do for a living. But if I did something else, I would feel the pain that you go through trying to understand all of these things about social. So just a little side note, it is so worth it to delegate even a small piece of your social media marketing to somebody that knows what they're doing. It could be a virtual assistant. It could be an agency like us. It could be even working with a social media strategist and coach like myself, rather than playing that guessing game, right? But if you're doing things on your own, then go into your analytics, whichever platform you are using, and check the reach on your content, okay? So if you feel like that reach is low, meaning it's not reaching many people, and you're gonna know because it's going to give you a number, here are some things that you can do to really quickly change that, okay? So I have 9 different ways I'm gonna share with you today. So this is gonna be a little lengthy. Take out a pen and paper, some notes. You can come back and watch the replay of this. All right, so I will tell you that obviously there are tons of different platforms that you can be on, right? I don't always suggest to be on all of them at once, especially if you're doing this all on your own and you really want to hone down on 1 or 2 platforms. And I always suggest, honestly, the platform that you get most excited about, because if you're doing this for yourself, you're doing this on your own, you want to also be in that mindset that you are excited to create conversations, create content to engage with people on the platform. So first, make sure that you are using a platform that you love to use, okay? And if you don't love social media, then I definitely would suggest to have somebody help you with your social. But when you're considering checking the reach that you're getting on all of these platforms, I will tell you that still FB ranks as the most active and popular social network still. Then after that, it's going to be YouTube, which I don't really consider YouTube as a social media marketing platform. I really consider it more as a search engine. Then you have IG. Okay. And then there are other parts to these platforms that are also highly used. And that would be WhatsApp, which is more like an international use, as well as Facebook Messenger. Then we get into TikTok and things like that. All right. So what you want to consider when you're really paying attention to the numbers that you are getting via reach, you want to also think about the algorithm. And so for many people, the A word, they don't even like to say the algorithm, but I'm going to tell you right now, the algorithm can actually be your best friend if you know how to use these platforms as a user and not just as a marketer. And that's what happens with many small business owners and entrepreneurs that are doing all their social for themselves, is they are basically just promoting themselves all the time, and they're not using these platforms to actually create connections, start conversations, and build relationships, which is why these platforms were built in the first place. So if you're not using the platforms as an actual user, the algorithm is not going to work in your favor. Therefore, when you post something, you are not going to get that much reach. Okay, so I'm going to share a little hack with you at the end. So stick with me in how you can actually kind of not trick, but play with algorithms so it actually becomes your friend and not your enemy. Okay, but it's really important to affect how the algorithm works for your account, whether it's your personal account or your business profile. And there are three things that you want to focus on. You want to focus on your engagement. So are people interacting with your post? Are they commenting? Are they reacting? Are they sharing? And when I say reacting, I mean, are they hitting the like button, the love button, hopefully not the sad and the angry button? So the higher your engagement, the higher you are going to rank, and the higher chance you're going to be able to appear in people's news feeds. Doesn't matter the platform. Okay, we're just going to talk very general right now. Also, you want to think about the speed of engagement. So if you get engagement like literally right away, that's first off a first sign of success, that piece of content was received well by your fans, followers, your friends, depending on what profile you're on. And really quickly, you can double that engagement and that exposure. The more engagement you get, the more reach you're going to get, because the algorithm is going to make a connection that, okay, this person's piece of content, people are really liking it. Let's send it out to more people. So let's reach more people. And that's how it works. And then also, you want to think about how recent your posts are. So newer posts are going to tend to get higher engagement and higher reach. Now, you can wake up old posts, especially on FB, by going back and commenting on something that got super high engagement before. So even like check out your memories. Okay, and this is actually a hack that I learned from my own business and social media coach, Molly Mahoney, is go to your memories on FB and comment on a post that got lots of engagement in the past. What happens is it signals the algorithm and it starts to send that post out again to everybody that commented on it in the past or reacted to it or maybe even shared it, and it starts to show up in their newsfeed again. Sometimes the people that see it tend to think that it's a new post. It's actually pretty incredible. So very intentional when you are using social media. And one way is to actually go into your memories and start commenting on some old posts. All right. So how can we boost, per se, the engagement on posts so that we can reach higher levels of reach? Okay. So there's quite a few ways, and this is where I'm going to get into 9 different ways. But one thing that you can do is, I just actually had a conversation with someone today, is have a call to action on your posts. And a call to action doesn't necessarily have to say something like, click down below for more info, or click below to shop. right? A call to action could be asking a question. Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you love this quote? Or what resonates with you the most about this quote? Let me know below. That's a call to action. This or that posts also tend to kind of seem like a call to action because you're asking them this or that. This is really well seen. I see it a lot with realtors, also interior designers. And even I've done posts like that for fashion, for my Style Rebel Mama brand. I've done like a this or that outfit, right? And so it's prompting my audience and it's prompting your audience to respond down below with this or that. The other thing you can do is set up contests. And you can do contests very easily, especially on IG. They're a great way to really reach lots of people. And a better way is to set up a contest or a giveaway, but then put some money behind it with some paid traffic. And there's a specific strategy that you want to use in order to do that. But I'm just going to give you a quick example. We are currently running a giveaway campaign for a client who sells physical product. Now, I have also done this for myself, for my stylishly branded side of the business, which is my personal brand and social media marketing coaching business. And I don't sell physical product for that, right? It's service-based. But you can create a giveaway campaign and run ads to it, very strategic ads, very low budget too. You don't have to spend $100 a day, $1,000 a day. You can literally spend $5 a day, and this will do really well. And run a giveaway campaign. And not only are you boosting, in a sense, the reach, because people love free stuff or they love a really good offer, but it's also getting people to get to know you. You expand your reach to a new network of people that don't already follow you. And it's a great way to build your email list with targeted leads. Okay. Another thing you want to do is which I already kind of touched on, is do questions and choices. Give choices as well, because this is prompting people to comment on your post, to give a response, to give an answer, and to start a conversation. The more comments you have, the more it signals the algorithm, the more engagement you get, the more reach you get, because it starts to distribute that post to more people. Okay, so number one was you want to boost that engagement by using some of those tips. Number two is to check the times of the day that your followers are usually on the platforms or using the platforms, okay? And you can test this out for a few weeks. You can do this right inside for FB and IG. You do this right inside of your business meta suite, your meta business suite, whichever way you want to call it. If you have a professional account, or if you have a business page, or if you have a professional IG account, okay? So check the time of the day that you are getting the most engagement and that most of your followers are on, and then schedule your posts for those times of day. And do this over a few weeks just to see if your reach goes up. So this is a great way to test, all right? Number three is you want to use video. I cannot stress this enough. Video is the favorited type of content right now. I don't see that going away. There's tons of studies that has been done on this. And if you haven't noticed, this is why TikTok is so popular, Reels are so popular, even YouTube Shorts are so popular, because people want to watch people. It's a distraction, it's entertaining, and as an expert, it's a really great way and really fast way to kickstart a relationship with a lead, with somebody in your audience, somebody that could be a potential client, because they get to hear your voice, get to know your personality a little bit. And it's also going to detract people that are not your right people, which is also okay. So you need to implement videos into your content. And to take that a step further, use Reels. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to step back for a second and just be real about Reels. You notice I maybe put one reel out there per week, okay? And for a while, I had this mind block about it. Like, as much as I love dancing, for those of you that don't know, I grew up as a dancer. I still dream about being a dancer. I love dancing. but I don't have time during the day to get on camera and dance and throw some tips out there while I'm dancing. So that was kind of like my mind block behind Reels. You don't have to dance. Okay. If you notice, most of my Reels, I'm not dancing. You literally can just pick up your phone, talk into it, share, give a hook, state a problem that your ideal client, your ideal audience has, state 3 tips that help with that problem, end it with a call to action of some sort, and you are done. Add captions to it. You can do that really simply inside of Reels, inside of Instagram. Maybe use a trending sound or music. It's not that hard to do. But you not only expand your reach, but you connect with people that aren't just following you. So that is the amazing thing about Reels, is that unlike other videos where it's typically going to be people that already follow you will see that, with Reels specifically, it goes out, it reaches people outside of your following, which is awesome. Okay. And with that said, you want to also be really intentional about the hashtags that you use. So that's going to be my tip number 3, is pay attention to hashtags. So you want to pay attention to your hashtags, and you want to use hashtags that are relevant to what you're talking about in that video or post, but you also want to use hashtags that don't have super high volume, and mix it up. So you can have up to 30 hashtags. And now I'm talking specifically on Instagram. On FB, if you're going to use hashtags, I would use like 3. It's not really a super popular thing still to use hashtags on FB. On LinkedIn, you do want to use a few hashtags. Obviously, if you're on Twitter, definitely hashtags. But speaking specifically to IG, keep your hashtags to the max is 30. I like to keep them around 25 to 30, and then mix up the volume of that hashtag being used. So as you are inputting a hashtag into your post caption, you will notice that it'll pull up that hashtag and it'll have a number on it, which gives you an idea of how many people have actually used that hashtag. If you use hashtags like in the millions, you're just not going to get found because there's so much saturation already with that hashtag. So I like to mix it up. I like to do like 5 hashtags that range in the hundreds of volume, another 5 hashtags that are in the thousands, another 5 hashtags that are in the 100,000s, and then a few hashtags that are in the millions. So mix it up. I also like to mix it up for every single post using different hashtags. That way there's a nice mix of the type of reach that I'm going to get. All right. Number 5 is cross post. So actually a good idea to share content from other sources, not just from your profiles. Okay. So there's cross posting between platforms, but there's also cross posting between other profiles, 2 different types of cross posting. So cross posting between other profiles allows you to show your audience that, number 1, you're not a know-it-all. You don't know everything. You can still be an expert and you don't know everything, right? So for example, I might cross post something that Social Media Examiner put out there. I might cross post something from I Love Mel Robbins, right? So something that's in my niche that would be relevant to my audience, you can cross post. This also allows you to at times piggyback on that other profile's audience. You have a potential to get seen, to get found, to be discovered by people that follow that profile as well. Okay. Now, when you're cross posting on platforms, you can really easily cross post from Instagram over to FB. Or what I like to do is I use Business Suite, and I use the planner inside of Business Suite, and I post the content to both platforms. It also gives you the ability to change the caption so that, say for example, I have a post that I want to put on Instagram, but it's got like all the hashtags. I don't want to put all those hashtags on FB. So when I set this up inside of Business Suite, it actually allows me to import my content all in one place, but I'm able to select if I want to use a different, or if I want to adjust a little bit my caption on FB and take out those hashtags. So I only have to write the content once. I upload it, or copy and paste it into Business Suite, into the planner when I go to create a post. And then I can change up the actual caption depending on the platform. And then I can schedule it. Okay, so it saves a ton of time. We talked about hashtags. The next one is user-generated content. So this is especially great for if you sell a physical product, for example, and people have sent you testimonials, or they've tried your product, or they take pictures using your product, or even if you're service-based and they have given you a shout out, right? Share that content. You want to be able to share that content, publish it to your profile, and tag them. Make sure that you tag them, give them credit, but it also allows their audience to see you as well. Ads. Okay, so it can be a scary thing, especially if you feel like you don't have the money to invest in ads. Here's how I see it. If you're running a business, like, run it as a true business. You do need to invest in your business at some point in order to have a successful marketing lead generation process. Or the other way around this is you need to do a lot of networking, a lot of organic engagement on your own. So you're trading time. I would prefer to have more time to spend less on social media, more on connecting with my leads, more on creating conversations, more on working with my clients at a higher level, servicing them at a higher level, more time with my family. I disconnect completely, usually on the weekends, from social media. So the way around this is by running a paid traffic strategy. Now, you don't want to do this on your own. You want to work with an expert, or you want to learn this. Okay, so running ads is a great way to increase your reach and your exposure and your lead generation, which then can convert over to leads. So next tip is using stories. Stories is a great way to stay connected with people that already follow you. So if you are not a planner, you don't have a plan of action every day, or you don't have your content scheduled, at least post to stories. That way it keeps your account active and it keeps you in front of people that already follow you, and it keeps that connection going. So use stories. And then quality over quantity. So if you are what we call, and a friend of mine used to say this, Brandy, she used to say content dumping, meaning you feel like you have to constantly be putting content out there. It doesn't work that way anymore. That's not going to help you. It's quality. You need quality content. And the way that you know that you have quality content out there is because people are commenting, they're engaging with you, they are reaching out to you. And that's when you know you're putting out quality content. If you are not getting any conversations started from your social, if you aren't getting any DMs, like genuine DMs, that somebody's DMing you and saying, hey, I saw your post, I'd love to hear more about blank, right? If you're not getting those reactions, if people aren't sharing, if they aren't starting conversations with you and you aren't starting conversations with them, that's a clear sign that your content is not quality. Instead, you're just putting out content just to put out content. So you want to have a content strategy that is quality, okay? And that's going to help you generate more engagement, more reach, more leads, and more sales. All right, so I'm going to go through these tips. We're going to do a quick little recap. And so here are 9 different ways to increase your reach on social media so that you can create more leads and convert them into sales. All right. So number 1 is engaging posts. Make sure to ask questions, do contests, do giveaways, do multiple choice questions even, and have a clear call to action on every single post. Number 2, check the time of day that you are posting, and check in your analytics the time of day that your followers are more engaged. Test it out and post or schedule out your posts during those times. Number 3, use video. Better yet, use Reels. It is the favorited type of content right now on these platforms, especially just videos in general, but Reels will expand your reach to people that don't already follow you. And it's a very simple way to do. Pick up your phone, talk into it, share a problem, give 3 tips to that problem, ends with a call to action, and leave caption as well in the actual post with a call to action. Number 4 is cross post. Cross post from platform to platform, but also cross post other people's content as well. Number 5 is pay attention to the hashtags that you are using. You want to use hashtags that are relevant to the content that you're putting out there. Use some trending hashtags and then mix it up with different volumes of hashtags. I would say 5 in the hundreds, 5 in the thousands, 5 in the 100,000s, and then 5 more, or maybe like 3 in the millions. Number 6 is use and share user generated content, meaning when you get tagged or people post about your business, share that and make sure to tag them back so that their audience sees it as well. Number 7, you want to use a paid traffic strategy. It can be very low budget, but have a traffic strategy so that you can alleviate some of the time that you are spending on social media organically to create this lead generation system and sales from your marketing efforts. And number 8 is use stories to stay in touch with your followers, with your audience. So if you have nothing to put out there in the newsfeed, at least put a story out there. Share what's going on in your day. Share a tip, share an experience that you just had with a client. Just be you. And then number 9 is quality over quantity. Have a real strategic and intentional plan for your content. Plan it out, schedule it out, and remember that it's not so much about how many times you put content out there, how many times you post. It's more about, is this actually valuable to my audience? Is it connecting with them? And you'll know this because they are engaging, they are sharing, they are commenting, and maybe they're even DMing you. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful today. Bye, guys.